Members, let us pray. Almighty God, who is in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the office of the leaders and legislative assembly for the welfare of society and the just government of the people. We beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants whom we have been pleased to call to your performance of importance, trust in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner, as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. Good afternoon, members. Clerk.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Next.
Order number 3, messages.
Next.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next.
Order number 5, papers.
Next.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next.
Order number 7, statements.
Next.
Order number 8, the Machakos County Senior Citizens Bill 2020, Kenya Gazette, Supplement number 12, Machakos County Bills number 8.
Okay, under this order, we have one business by Honorable Betty Nzioki. Mheshimiwa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Honorable Betty Nzioki, representing the great people of Masi and the Chair, Culture and Tourism Committee. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order number 121-1, I beg to move the motion that the Machakos County Senior Citizens Bill 2020 be now read a second time. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to request Honorable Bendetta Mueni to second my motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Bendetta Mueni.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Bendetta Mueni Musyoka, nominated by Wiper. I stand to second.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mheshimiwa, I think you will not read the whole report.
Yeah.
You will do the mandates, the overview, public participation, and committee recommendations.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to read on the mandate of the committee. Honorable Speaker, the Culture, Social and Welfare and Tourism Committee is established under the second schedule of Machakos County Assembly Standing Orders to deal with all matters relating of cultural activities, public entertainment and public amenities, including betting, lotteries, casinos, racing, liquor licensing, cinemas, video shows and hiring, libraries, national heritage, museum and cultural activities, and facilities in county parks, beaches and recreational facilities, and local tourism, culture, control of drugs and pornography, and annual animal control and welfare, including licensing of dogs and facilities of accommodation, care and burial of animals, and social welfare matters. Further, Honorable Speaker, Standing Order number 198C, mandate of Secretarial Committee to study and review all county legislation referred to it. Composition of the committee. Honorable Speaker, the committee is currently constituted has 13 members as following. Honorable Betty Nzioki, Chairperson. Honorable Bendeta Mueni, Vice Chair. Honorable Jeremiah Munguti, Member. Honorable Stephen Mwande, Member. Honorable Justus Kitengu, Member. Honorable Dominic Ndambuki, Member. Honorable Daniel Kiilu, Member. Honorable Joshua Moli Nzuki, Member. Honorable Alice Nzioka, Member. Honorable Pauline Munguti, Member. Honorable Francis Ngunga, Member. Honorable Irene Bivia, Member. And last but not the least, Honorable Thomas Motinda, Member. I want to read with your permission, Mr. Speaker, I want to read the overview of the bill. The principal purpose and objective of the bill is to make provision for the establishment of the legal framework to empower and protect senior citizens living and residing within the county. The structures of the bill is as follows. Part 1, clauses 1 to 3 of the bill contains plenary provision which provides for the short title of the bill, interpretation, and objects and purpose of the bill. Clause 3 of the bill provides for the objects and purposes of the bill, which are to A, provide for the framework for the promotion and protection of the rights of the senior citizens as enshrined in the Constitution. B, promote and protect the status of the senior citizens. C, prevent the abuse of senior citizens. Part 2, clauses 4 to 9, makes provision for the rights of the senior citizens, obligation of the county government to the senior citizens, factors that persons delivering services to the senior citizens must take into account, activities that county government must undertake in order to ensure that citizens' rights to family and community care and community-based programs for the care and protection of the senior citizens residing within the county, as well as prohibition from abuse. Clause number 4, the bill provides that every senior citizen under the proposed law has the right to A, fully participate in the affairs of the community based on the senior citizens' interests and capabilities. B, take part in activities that enhance the senior citizens' personal development and build capacity to generate income and take part in activities that advance the senior citizens' economic development. C, access social and legal services to the enhancement of the protection of the senior citizens' rights under the Constitution. D, take part in activities that promote the senior citizens' social, physical, mental, and emotional well-being. And E, receive reasonable care, assistance, and protection from their family and state. Clause 9 of prohibition of abuse, the bill provides that the person shall not abuse or subject senior citizen to any form of physical or mental abuse, and further stipulates that abuse includes 1, that is A, physical abuse, which means any act or threat of physical violence towards senior citizens. B, any conduct that violates the sexual integrity of the senior citizen. C, physiological abuse, which means any pattern of degrading or humiliating conduct towards senior citizen, which includes 1, repeated insult, recaldol or name calling. 2, repeated threats to cause emotional pain. And 3, repeated invasion of senior citizens' privacy, freedom, integrity, or security. D, economic abuse including 1, the deprivation of economic and financial resources of which the senior citizen is entitled under any law. 2, the reason and the unreasonable deprivation of economic and financial resources which the senior citizen requires out of necessity. Or 3, the disposal of household effects or any other property that belongs to the senior citizen without the senior citizen consent. Part 3 of clause 10 to 15 makes provision for the procedure of the consideration of how much amount are payable to the senior citizen as a grant and circumstances in which the grant is payable may lapse. The amount of the senior citizen grant will be as may be determined by the county executive committee member responsible for matters relating to social welfare and development. A person qualifies for a senior citizen grant if that person has 1, is a Kenyan citizen, B, is a permanent resident of Machakos County, C, has attained the age of 65, D, has no ascertainable means of support or income, and E, is not a beneficiary of any other program with similar benefits. Application for the senior citizens grant shall be submitted to the office of the county executive committee member at the designated office within the department to receive and process application for the senior citizen grant. If a beneficiary abuses the grant, the offer in charge, in consultation with the county executive committee member, may 1, that is A, suspend payments of grant, or B, appoint a person to receive the grant on behalf of the beneficiary and to apply it subject to the prescribed conditions and any other conditions that the county executive member may determine for the benefit of the beneficiary. On termination of the senior citizens grant, the officer in charge may, in consultation with the county executive member, terminate payment of the grant or on behalf of the senior if 1, senior citizen is absent from the county for a continuous period of 6 months or longer expected for reasons of medication. B, grant was obtained through misrepresentation, dissent, fraud, or failure to disclose any material information. C, grant is in excess of amount permitted by this bill and regulations made pursuant to this bill. And D, grant was approved and granted in error. The county executive member reinstates the suspended grant where the county executive member is satisfied and that the reasons advanced by the applicant justify the reinstatement. The senior citizen grant shall lapse when the beneficiary 1, dies, 2, is admitted to residential institution. Part 4, clause 16 to 17. It deals with miscellaneous provision of providing for the general penalty for the persons who contravene the provision of the bill. It makes provision for the development of subsidiary regulations to help in the better implementation of the bill. Mr. Speaker, I want to go to 3.3, that is public participation. Honorable Speaker, Article 174C of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 states that one of the objects of the devolution is to give powers of self-governance to the people and enhance the participation of the people in the exercise of powers of the state and in making decisions affecting. Further, Article 196(1)(b) of the same constitution provides that the county assembly shall facilitate public participation and involvement in legislative and other business of the assembly and its committees. Honorable Speaker, Standing Order number 123 provides that the sectoral committee to which a bill is committed shall facilitate public participation and shall take into account the views and recommendation of the public when the committee makes its reports to the House. Honorable Speaker, the principle of public participation holds all those who are affected by a decision and have a right to be involved in the decision-making process. It seeks and facilitates for the involvement of those potentially affected by interested decision. The committee held a public participation of the bill on 15th, 16th, and 17th of September 2021 in all the 40 wards of the county. Committee observations. Honorable Speaker, based on the public participation done on 15th, 16th, and 17th September 2021, the following views were presented. 1. The qualification age as stated in the bill of 65 years and above need to be reviewed downwards to 60 years. 2. For proper administration of the funds, village committees should include religious leaders, local administration, and representation of the target population. 3. Access of the grant by citizen through bank account is sometimes tiresome and inconveniencing to the beneficiaries. The members of public propose the use of M-Pesa. Number 4, application for the grant should be done off to make the program efficient. Number 5, legibility for the grant should come out clearly. Members of public proposed that the grant should be given to all senior citizens, whether they have able relatives or not, since there are isolated cases where senior citizens may have able relatives who do not assist them. Number 6, clear policies and regulations should be formulated to ensure that the monies allocated is well utilized and by the right people. Number 7, special consideration should be made to the elderly persons with disability whistling disbursing the grant. Number 8, members of public propose that specific percentage of the county's budget be allocated to the grant. They propose that 0.1% of the county budget in a specific financial year. Mr. Speaker, committee recommendation. Honorable Speaker, based on the above observation, the committee recommends the following. 1, procedure for identification of beneficiaries of the senior citizens grant should be clearly structured such that each senior citizen is treated fairly, irrespective of being capable or not. Number 2, the office of the member of county assembly in the respective ward should be involved in identification of beneficiaries of the grant in the ward, since members of county assembly are representative of the people in the county assembly. Number 3, for each case of access to the grant by senior citizens, arrangements should be made to have disbursement done through M-Pesa platform or any other module convenient for the beneficiaries without compromising the accountability. Number 4, a county committee should be included in the bill to oversee the senior citizen grant rather than having the CECM perform the duty. Further, ward committee should also be included and be responsible for the identification of the beneficiaries of the grant. Members of the county committee should be vetted and approved by the county assembly. Members of the county assembly should be patrons in the wards committee responsible for identification of the beneficiaries. Number 5, the committee recommends reduction of the minimum recommended age from 65 years to 60 years and 55 years for the persons with disability. Number 6, that 0.2% of the annual county budget be allocated to the senior citizens grant every financial year. Out of this, 10% should be used for administration of the grant. Number 7, application for the grant should be one-off to make the program efficient. Number 8, the CEC, Department of Finance and Revenue Collection, should come up with a clear regulation on administration of these funds 60 days after the enactment of this act. Conclusion and acknowledgement. Honorable Speaker, allow me to thank the members of this House, County Executive Committee member, Department of Education, Skills Training and Social Welfare, and the public for their input during the consideration of this bill. Special appreciation to Honorable Constance Mbula for sponsoring the bill. I wish to appreciate my fellow committee members and the secretaries for their dedication during committee sittings and compiling of this report. Honorable Speaker, the committee is also grateful to the Office of the Speaker and that of the Clerk to the County Assembly for the continuous and relentless support received as it discharged its oversight mandate. It is therefore my duty on behalf of Culture, Social Welfare and Tourism to table this report and recommend it to this Honorable House for consideration and adoption. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The report was compiled by our able clerk, Nora Muteti and Mulonzi Arizon. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Betty. I now propose the question that the Machakos County Senior Citizen Bill 2020 be now read a second time. Members, I invite you for debate. Honorable Kamulu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I start by recommending the good work which is done by the committee under the leadership of Honorable Mbeti. Honorable Chair, this is a bill which is very timely because under the existing national government cash transfer, it is not all the members of this republic who are taken care of. Honorable Speaker, I have a concern on the negative mood which we have noted when the finance officer or the person in charge, the CCM, who did not come up to give direct contributions toward this bill on claim that it was not their origin. Honorable Speaker, however, I concur with them because of the recommendations which they gave in their contribution through a letter dated 28th October 2021. Although they are claiming that this is a duplication of the existing national government cash transfer, Honorable Speaker, the committee made several amendments on what has come up here because they are drawing the age of the beneficiaries from 70 years to 60 years. Honorable Speaker, I think this is a very good observation because there are people who are very vulnerable, who are not benefiting from the national grant, yet they are members of this count. So, Honorable Speaker, I concur and I agree, recommend seriously on the recommendation which the committee said, let the age be reduced from 65 to 60. I also commend for the committee because of remembering the vulnerable, the people living with disability. Because those ones are not given in a special attention as far as the national government cash transfer is concerned. But here in our bill, the committee is recommending 55 years. Mr. Speaker, 55 years is even too much. I think if actually we could drop up it even to 50 years, it will be very much in order. Mr. Speaker, recommendation number 2 on the involvement of the member of county assembly in the this program is very necessary. Remember, Honorable Speaker, when these people bring complaints, they always bring them to the members of county assembly because we are their representatives. And if the members of county assembly are isolated, the way we have been isolated in so many things, Honorable Speaker, I think things will not be good. So I actually thank the committee because of recommending that we also play a role in participation. Even number 1, sometimes when people are actually trying to get the right people, sometimes people are biased. So this recommendation that this biasness should not be there in choosing who will be beneficiaries, it should be fair, and the right people should benefit from the program. Honorable Speaker, number 4, there is need for a regulation which will guide clearly on who will be the members of the committee. Honorable Speaker, the CECM is recommending a board. However, I concur with the committee. Instead of having a board, we should have a committee which actually should be well defined on who will be the members on the same and also their qualifications. Finally, Honorable Speaker, at times we pass so many bills, yet the mandate of enacting them, ascending them, lies on the hands of the governor. So it is my appeal that when this bill goes through this system, it is ascended, and these vulnerable people in our count benefits. I want to thank the committee because of number 8, where they are giving a deadline immediately after enacting the act, where they are saying a regulations on how to go about it should be done within 60 days. That is timely, and that is very good. Otherwise, Honorable Speaker, I support the bill and thank the committee because of the good work. Thank you.
Honorable Mutinda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Thomas Mutinda, and I start by congratulating the chair and the committee for the good job done, Mr. Speaker, and also congratulate the sponsor of the bill, Honorable Constance Buller, for this timely bill, and I think it's the high time this assembly supports our people, Mr. Speaker, because down there, like in my place, I have some aged people over 80, over 90, over 70 years, who ask me when the national government will open up for them to be enrolled for this program. But luckily enough, the county government of Machakos came in place to complement the efforts of the national government on this matter. So I think I would urge the House to support this so that the people of Machakos can benefit from their county revenues, so that we don't have our people suffering so much. Because, Mr. Speaker, ideally, I'm privileged to be a member of this committee, and also what we had in mind was to complement for those who have not had an opportunity of getting the services the same from the national government. So I think it's important that we approve this, and the county government sees to it that it gives our people some good stipend so that we can have them listed for those people earning over $1 a day. That means we have a figure of over 3,000 something, so that we can count them as people who are enabled by their government, Mr. Speaker. So I think let's support this, and also check to it from the Kenya Bureau of Statistics the demographic distributions of people, so that we may see these people who are over 60 years to 70 years, as recommended by the committee, is it sustainable? And if it's sustainable, then we see to it that the regulations are brought and approved, so that in the coming supplementary, our people can be factored. Some in my place asked me, does it mean we shall go until we die before we are enlisted for this program? So this is an avenue where people can be assisted, and I think we'll have people be able to move forward. Mr. Speaker, remember, as age goes on, people start ailing, and when you go to hospital is when you are told that you take this medicine, but after eating. So at a certain age, if you are not able to eat well, then even the medicine will not help you. So I think it's a good program, it's a good idea, and it's good that we support it so that our people benefit. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Katumo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I just stand to support this great report on the Senior Citizen Bill 2020. Thank you, the committee, under the able chairpersonship of Honorable Betty Nzisa. Also, not forgetting, especially to congratulate the promoter of this bill, Honorable Bulla. Any bill that supports the vulnerable, I really support, because we are all going there. We are aging every day. We came here in 2017, now it's 2021, and this day is almost over, my friend. And I think we are aging, and we need to think in posterity. The future is coming. Honorable Speaker, I want to say two things. One, we have had a program by the national government where it has been helping the elderly from 65 years and above. I think when counties came, they came along with the resources to make sure that many things are cascaded downwards, to make sure that we help and assist our people who are at the edge of society. The senior citizens, if you move around, you will find that they are suffering, especially this time of drought and a little bit of hunger. You find their needs, and especially their basic needs, are huge, and we need to see to it that we have legislation in place to make sure that they are helped in good time. I've also seen here that one of the recommendations of the committee is to make sure that they also consider people with disability. Honorable Speaker, that is my constituency. And I think we will also need to think broadly to make sure that not only the elderly or the aged PWDs, we should all be getting at all ages, isn't it? Because we are people who need to be empowered all through. But I like that recommendation that everywhere the ages are reduced to make sure they are captured early in advance. Actually, I've also found out last 2 months that the county government, and especially the county government of Machakos, also gives stipends even to their employees who are PWDs to make sure that you get an extra 20K so that you can help yourself. I did not know that. I could have requested the assembly to do the same, and I did it this morning, to make sure that we are also assisted so much so that we are also empowered and feel good, you see. So I think, I thank this committee, look into it, that it has an inclination for persons with disabilities in Machakos County going forward. I've also noted with a lot of concern where, when the chair was reading through, I found that when the other arm of this county government was invited to come and give their views, and they stated categorically, especially the CCM, that they could not come because this did not originate from them. I think this is a great concern that they are just joking around. And I think I concur with the governor. Some of these executive officers need to be sent home because they don't know their role. How do you call somebody to come and give, and it's an officer in Machakos, and we are doing this for the benefit of residents of Machakos, that they cannot come? We are doing sponsoring our bills. I sponsored the BW bill of 2016. I've also sponsored other 2 bills that are before the House. Does it mean that if you sponsor from this side, they should not contribute? And I think this is a concern. We should really get to know what is happening. If it's incompetence, we should also be told. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, I support, together with the recommendation that they are in. But I think when we say, you know, I've found 60 years are not very far. I think 65 is okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Mbula.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I wish to request that I remove my mask because I get choked when I talk with it on. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I am Constance Mbulanzioki, the author of this bill, Untitled Chapter nominee. Mr. Speaker, I want to say, before I came up with this bill, I had transpassed Machakos County as chair lady of Maendeleo ya Wanawake up to this date, and I saw how old people are suffering. People have had children have gone to school, and they've gone to work in towns, and they seem to have forgotten their parents. So you find a whole home is an old man and an old lady. They cannot even cook for themselves. And then I thought, we have a government. Can the government do something really? And that is how I came up with the bill. And I am happy now that the bill has seen the light of the day. And I want to ask the concerned departments to move with speed and do what is supposed to be done so that our parents, our grandparents can be assisted. Honorable Speaker, it pains so much when you see men and women driving around in the villages during funerals, and they are going to bury their own parents who died of hunger, who died of medical problems. And that's the time now they come up with the WhatsApp groups to make money for themselves. I would rather say it's for themselves, because when the parents were alive, they did not take care. And so I want to ask the members to pass this bill, and the departments wake up and we do something to support the old people. Honorable Speaker, I will not go page by page because I know what is inside here. I am part of it, and I want to thank the Committee of Culture and Social Services for their last time work. They have done very well. I cannot see anything that was left out as I had done in my bill. And so, thank you very much, the committee, and I want to ask the honorable members of this House to support this bill so that we can move ahead. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Joanna.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also wish to support the bill. And also the sponsor of the bill, I applaud her. Mr. Speaker, I wish to challenge ourselves, both the Assembly and also the Executive, and especially more so on all the bills which we pass in this Assembly. One on the implementation, two, on even the sustainability of the bill. There are bills which require funds. The greatest question we should be asking ourselves is when we come up with the numbers, the bill under discussion is talking of 0.2% of our annual budget. I am not sure what that translates to vis-a-vis the number of beneficiaries. Because on the other side, we are lowering the age from 65 to 60, meaning that we are broadening the numbers who are supposed to be benefiting. It's just a challenge that as we come up with nice bills like the one we are discussing here, we sit and think of the sources of funds, whether they are adequate, and again, because that will ensure sustainability, and also the mode of identification of the beneficiaries. And I would like to say that this bill, if implemented well, it is going to serve our people. I happen to have also gone to a country like Singapore, where the popular fund called Pesa za Uzeeni, I'm sorry to have mixed the languages, but you don't just sit at home to benefit. You are supposed to also be active. If you look at the teachers and other civil servants who are retiring at the age of 60, you may not imagine even some are retiring. So it is a bill which should, in the course of implementation, should be made a reality by working with figures. But it is a very nice bill I support, so that we ensure that as we go towards that age group and benefit from the bill, we are also assured of getting the bill in place when we get to that age. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mover, can you reply?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to take this opportunity and thank this Honorable House. Honorable members, I think as an assembly, we've taken, or else we played our role, that we pass bills, we pass laws, we legislate. It is my humble request to the executive, because they're the ones who are supposed to implement, to move with speed. Honorable Speaker, all the members in this, honorable members in this House, they can testify that when we are within our wards, this is a big challenge, and I can say it is a thorn in the flesh within our wards, because most of our people, or else electorates, they don't know us as a county that we don't have this kind of a bill, and they feel us as MCAs, we have that right, or else we have that role to enroll them for these monies or else this grant. So, Honorable Speaker, I would request the executive to implement this bill. It is for the benefit of our people. It is not the benefit for us. And the way Honorable Katumo has said, we tried our level best to even invite the CEM, and he did not attend. Reason being, the bill did not originate from them. But I can say, us as an assembly, we played our role, and now we leave it to the executive, because I know one day, one time, we shall be answerable of what us as leaders we did for the people of Machakos County. So thank you very much, and God bless you, honorable members. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I put the question that the Machakos County Senior Citizen Bill 2020 be now read a second time. As many as of the opinion say ayes.
Ayes.
As many as of the contrary opinions say nay. Ayes have it. So members, you have made the decision. As an assembly, we have done our work. Clerk.
The Machakos County Senior Citizens Bill 2020.
Members, at this time, the House stands adjourned to Tuesday, 7th day of December 2021 at 10 a.m.